And we are back. Wait a minute. That's not right. This has been a crazy week. Whirlwind. But it's off the lift. It's running. It's driving. And the air conditioner works. Woohoo! World's longest AC install is done. Well, actually it's not. My buddy, 71 Stepside, or 71 C10 Stepside on Instagram, he takes the cake. I think he said he was 10 years, start to finish. He started it, and then life got in the way, and he finally finished his truck. I don't know. I think 2 years. It was right after I finished this. But he actually got his air conditioning working on the same day that this one was charged. So pretty cool. Whirlwind. What prompted all of this is I have a car show on Saturday. So today is Thursday. Sunday. So this coming Sunday, I have a car show for my local town where I grew up. And I wanted to drive it. I always go to the car show for my wife's hometown and the car show for my hometown. And I had to miss my wife's this year because, well, it wasn't done. So it was a mad dash, but we got it done. So it all started on Saturday, which was Memorial Day or Labor Day weekend. Labor Day. Yeah, that's right. Saturday morning we had, where we live, there's a little town that had the fair. So they had the parade. And some of my kids were in the parade. And then that night we had the fair and all that. So I had like 2 hours on Saturday where my schedule synced up with my buddies who had the crimper. So we went over there. He had to get going too. He was trying to track down a bottle of argon for his welder. So we just wham-bammed it, got it done. I got all my crimps. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 done. It holds pressure. I actually took it in on, what is today, Thursday? So yesterday, Wednesday morning, I got a little shop down the street from us. He's a big hot rodder too. I went in there Tuesday morning and I said, hey, I got this. I'm trying to make the show. What do you got for me? So I actually was able to get in Wednesday morning. He had a guy, he wasn't even supposed to be there that day, came in, charged my system, their AC guy. So that was awesome. Kudos to them. The lines are crimped. So we were under a mad dash. I didn't do any filming because we were moving and shaking to get all these lines crimped, get everything set. So I came in here Saturday morning. I marked them all off, with a paint pen here and here, here and here, yada, yada, yada. Got everything set. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, the pressure switch. It works. I know in an earlier video, I tried testing it just with the engine, with the ignition on, and it wasn't working. Well, I got to thinking about that. The ECM is smart enough to realize, hey, the engine's got to be running for this thing to be working and to making pressure. So I got it running. I came up here. I'll insert that video here. All right, got the truck running tonight. I got the coolant in it. I'm going to test out the fans. I've got this pressure sensor that's going to go in the AC line. I'm going to test it out. So in HP Tuners, I have the low-speed fan set to 50 PSI and the high-speed set to 75 PSI. Low speed will run for 5 seconds. High speed will run for 10 seconds. So I'm going to start the truck here real quick, and we're going to see if it works. This is the first time. I hope this works. And I'm just using shop air. Put it in here like this. All right, here we go. This is 50 PSI. Let's see what it does. And they are on. They're running half speed. 3, 4, 5. And they shut off. Okay, let me crank my compressor up to 75 real quick. Okay, it's like 80 PSI. Let's see what it does. Same thing. Plugging it into here, push the trigger. There you go. 10 seconds. 3, 4. I can't count, but holy shit, it works. This is amazing. I don't have to worry about that extra wire. I just get to use this one sensor and it runs everything. This is amazing. And we're back. So I plugged it in, tested it, and it worked. I just dropped the values in HP Tuners down to like 50 and 75 PSI to check my fans, and it worked. So I cranked them back up. I think I have them now at 215 PSI. Both fans come on, and at 250, both fans come on at half speed at 215, and then at 250, they both come on at full speed. I've actually had it have, so I haven't driven it much. I mean, probably 25 miles since I've got it running. But there have been 2 instances where the fans came on and they were controlled by that switch there. Typically, the engine, so this thing's got a stock thermostat in it. It runs at 195-ish. It's kind of where it ran before I put the air conditioner in there. When the air conditioner's coming on and being used, that temperature creeps up closer to 200. When you're at a stoplight, it gets up 205, 206, and that's coolant temperature. But, you got a lot of radiant heat coming from, excuse my cover here, a lot of radiant heat coming from the radiator and the transcooler, and the condenser's kind of sandwiched between them. So it's the pressure is rising in the system, and it actually triggered high-speed fans twice so far. So I know the sensor does work. I actually plugged in the HP Tuner's scanner, and I can watch the pressure on that thing. It hasn't been real hot here. I think it's been 85s. It was like 88, something like that today. But my pressures are actually a little higher than they probably... I don't know, but when we installed it, the pressures were perfect. It was kind of a cool morning, but they were perfect. We put 1.8 pounds in it. It's perfect. But my pressures, I was reading, so at 85 degrees, I think I was reading like 205 PSI on the high side, which is a little bit high, but I don't know. I'm just kind of letting it all settle in. But anyway, the sensor works. That was the whole point of my rambling there. That sensor does work. So for all the naysayers and everybody online with all the misinformation that said, oh, this isn't going to work, I got on HP Tuners forums, I got on EFI Live forums, I got on any LS1 tech forum or any thread that I could find, and everybody's like, oh, it's not going to work, not going to work. I got a pair of messages, it's not going to work. The O3 computer doesn't control it. It works. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. The fans are controlled by that pressure switch, which I can set the pressures in the ECM. It also bumps the idle. Perfect. So I don't have to worry about this trinary switch. It's here, but I left it there kind of as a backup. If something ever were to fail, my wires are coiled up behind the battery. I can plug it in, make it work. So awesome. That works. To the naysayers, you're wrong. This does work. O3 ECMs do work. They were saying that 04 and up is the way you got to go, and it had to be like a drive-by wire ECM that also had the drive-by cable drivers in it, yada, 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 because they're all tied together. I was shaking my head. I was scratching my head. I don't know, whatever. I was bummed, but it does work. This is proof it does work. So I'm trying to think of anything else that happened. Nothing really. Kind of some things that I'm going to work on. My kick panel flaps on the inside, my vents, the flapper door gaskets are trash, so I'm getting hot air bleed right behind the air conditioner. So I'm going to take those out, rebuild those with some new gaskets and seals on them. One of the things I was worried about was the way that these grommets work from Vintage Air, because these things move a little bit. Well, there's a tiny gap around this one and a little bit tinier, a little bit bigger, still tiny gap around the pressure side. So I'm going to seal those up. Some guys recommended plumber's putty, butyl tape. I'm going to kind of look and see what I've got. Some guys recommended that 3M strip caulking that I have that I used actually to seal that thing to the firewall, but that stuff is nasty. It doesn't come back off easily, so I don't think I'm going to go that route. But seal that up around all those, around the 4 of those. The heater ones, I put those grommets on there. They're pretty good. I'm not going to probably mess with them too much. Seal those 2 doors up. Put some insulation. I think I'm actually going to cut an insulation that fits inside the, and I'll show this in another video. It sits inside that vent door over there, because you actually can't open it all the way with this thing, and I don't think anyway. I haven't done it yet, but I think it might interfere with the new deal there. But just kind of do my part to kind of insulate this thing to make the system actually work, because right now on an 85-degree day, I am getting out of center vent, like they say. They say anywhere from 37 to 47. I'm getting 46, which honestly I'm not going to complain. I know this engine runs hot. I've got this thing. Well, it doesn't run hot, but it's just hot under here. I've got the trans cooler in front of it, so I'm getting heat soak from both sides. So it's not the ideal setup with having this here, but it works. So, and it's it's colder than ambient air, so I'll take it. But anyway, tonight's task, I should say, is going to be working on figuring out how to trim this engine cover to make it fit on here. So obviously it doesn't fit. So initially, I kind of been tinkering with this over the course of this build. I'm going to make a cut. It's about right here where this thing kind of comes down. It'll go zip. And I'm thinking I'm going to be able to leave a finger of this on here and just kind of come up and then over so that it clears this bracket right here. So we're going to see what we can do to make that fit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just so excited. This is awesome. So anyway, I'm going to get this top cover off here. I'm going to put some tape on here and maybe start drawing on it and see what we can come up with. Make this work. I wish there was a template, but there's not. I'll see if I can't make a template. That would be great. I can put it up online or something, because these brackets are all the same. As long as you go with the Dirty Dingo, it'll be the same engine cover, same bracket, same cuts. So yeah, anyway, let me get this set up. I'm going to get that cover off there and get this on here and see what we can do to make this work. So here's what I've got. I was originally going to cut it clear back here to clear the back of the compressor, but as I'm looking at it kind of sitting, this is about vertically. You just got to go down about 6 inches vertically. I think all I need to do is cut a slit right here to around the bracket. So I'm going to try just doing that and just kind of creep up on it. I'm going to draw some nice straight lines up here and just creep up on it so we can get long or get far enough to clear this bracket right here. I think that's all I need to clear. So I'm going to start with that. See what that gets me. Let's do this. So I busted out some of my engineering school drafting skills. So what I did was, this line is a 1/2 inch wide. I think this plate is 3/8, so it allows a little bit on each side. And I just put a little tick right here. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut to there, test it and see how it goes, and just kind of sneak up on it, start rotating this down until I can get this thing to sit down, just make the hole all the bigger it needs to be. So I think I'm gonna cut this on the bandsaw. I think that might make the cleanest cut. I don't know, I'm really nervous. This is only a $40 cover, but I don't know why I'm really nervous about this. So let's go over to the saw. I can't even talk, I'm so nervous. All right, here goes nothing. I've got a metal blade on here. It's a pretty fine tooth, so we'll see how this goes. I don't know, wish me luck. This part of the cover is pretty flat, so I'm just gonna ride it on the table and see what happens. I don't know. It's got insulation on the back too, as you can see, so the grommets way up here. This is all loose down here, so hopefully we don't screw this up. Hopes aren't real high. Probably should take this grommet out though. All right, grommet's out. Wish me luck, here we go. Well, I'm glad I didn't cut this any deeper because we're almost there. If I can get down there, you can see my hole's off by that much. I'm in my top hole here, but it needs to come this way. So I think I'm gonna have to trim. Sorry, my light is up high. There we go. Maybe I can get something to point. There we go. Trim the cover here and here, which I didn't think I was gonna have to, but I think I'm gonna have to. So actually I have to trim quite a bit off there. Trying to think of how to do this. I can see over here where it needs to be trimmed. So I'm gonna get this thing off, get some more tape on it. Here's where I am. This fits, this slot is about perfect. I'm probably gonna be, I have that tiny little line up there, maybe an 1/8 inch. I'm gonna clearance that out. I'm probably gonna do that by hand so I can radius those corners, but it fits. I'm on a bolt up here. And down here, I don't know if you could see it or not, right here, I'm off by that much. I mean, it is, well, it's pulled a little cattywampus, but the problem I'm having is the other side of the case, this right here, is interfering with a little bit of a radius. It's not gonna take a whole, it's kind of hard to show on camera, but there's just a little bit of bulbousness right down here. It's interfering with that case of that, dusty, the case of the air compressor. So I don't really want to cut the whole side out. I really just need to cut a window. And therein lies my problem. I do have a scroll saw, but I don't know when the last time it was used. So, I'm gonna sketch out my boundaries and pull it back out and see if we can't figure this out on the fly here. So here's where I'm at. This small box rectangle here is kind of the window that I need to put into the side to clear that right there. After drawing it and looking at it, putting it in and drawing it and looking at it, you know, I thought, really? Am I gonna do that? I'm just gonna, this is all back behind the compressor, so I'm just gonna go zip, zip, and that'll clear. I think it'll look better. I don't know, I wanna put it back in, see what it is. See what it looks like, see what it does. OCD, it's a sickness, man. And this is why I made that decision, because that piece that I just showed, that box, you can't even see it. You won't even see it unless you're sticking your head back here. Now you can see it. There's no point. I think it's gonna be good to go. Let's go cut that bad boy out. Let's do this. That bandsaw actually does a really good job. I mean, it's cutting the, man, that is straight, that looks good. I don't know if you all can see that or not, but that looks really good. Let's show the back side. Oh man, it kind of looks like I half know what I'm doing. All the insulation stayed in there. All right, let's go see if it fits. Oh, we are so close. That fits 1,000 times. It actually set right down in there. We still got a little more to go. We've got a little bit of a clearance. You can kind of see it on the top edge right here. I'm going to make this cut up a little higher. I don't want to go too much higher because we're going to get into the crotch of this, but in doing that, I might run into a clearance issue over here. So I'm going to go cut that. I'm not going to bore you guys with any more videos of me cutting. I'm going to go cut that real quick and see how it goes. And after 30 minutes of fiddling, this is what I've come up with. I ended up just cutting the whole thing out. And then this side was hitting the barrel of the compressor here, so I cut that in line with the main cut here. But then this cut got a little deeper because I wanted to keep away from this crotch so that this thing would stay together in one piece. So it's got a step to go around the back end of the compressor, a step to go around the mounting bracket. This is the mounting bracket for the Dirty Dingo. Yeah, so this obviously, that really does not look in line, but this is all one cut. It's all parallel with each other. But obviously the insulation needs to be trimmed up behind here. I'm gonna tidy it all up, make it so you can't see it. So turn it over. Basically what I'm thinking here is, here's what the backside looks like. Just trimming it away from the holes, kind of like they've done on this. So just gonna take an X-Acto knife and clean it up. Some of the insulation may disappear, like, I can't hold onto this thing here, but this little leg right here is, it's torn. So I'll probably cut this like that, trim this back. Anyway, let me put it on there, I'll show you what it looks like. And there it be. Everything fits pretty good. So I'm gonna do some final fine tuning when I sand it down. I don't know if you can see, my light's a little high, but my gap here, once I bolt it down, it wants to pull it that way. I don't know why. When it's just sitting on there, it's fine. So I'm going to open up the gap a little bit on this front side, and it's sitting on the insulation a little bit right here. So, but it's on, and it looks like it's supposed to be there. So, one thing I would have done differently is I cut this thing. Let's see here, straight. I wish I would have done it straight with the world and not straight with the unit, because, well, I'm the only one who's probably ever going to notice that. There it is. This would have looked better straight down, but I think it turned out pretty good. It's on there, kind of notched around. Still kind of looks like it's supposed to be there. That corner down in there may break at some point. I don't know. We'll just kind of keep an eye on it. It's not rubbing on anything. Nothing's touching, so it's kind of like you can see it's moving all around. It's not gonna hurt anything or hit anything. So that's it. So bolted down there, and up on top, just like it is stock, and it fits. So, whoo-wee, man, this has been a mad dash. It is now 9 o'clock at night on Thursday. I've got a car show so Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday. So I am going to, this thing is in dire need of a bath. It has got so much dust and dirt on it from sitting here in this shop. And then I've been driving it. And then today I pull out on the road, and I'm following a truck that just came out of the sand plant. And he pulls out and he kicked up all sorts of dust. And I was like, I ended up stopping and waiting it out. But it's just one of those things. So now it's covered in that dust. So give her a bath, get her all cleaned up, get all these bugs off of it. I don't know about you guys, but we got tons of bugs here. So, well, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this ride. Like I said, this was the longest install ever. I'm sure I'm going to have some more videos on some tweaks and stuff on that, tinkering videos. Maybe I'll show, actually I'm going to show, so I will have at least one more video that I know of, but I'm going to show how I did the HP tuner setup to make the fans work. Well, just the settings that I filled in. Nothing magical or anything sorcery about it, but just kind of how I set mine up so that it can help everybody else. I will drop a link in this description and in that video description for the parts. I actually bought that, I guess you call it a union, a T union? I'm not sure. A T, I guess? I don't know what they call that thing. Anyway, it's a number 8 on, number 8 on both sides, with a threaded deal, and it accepts the stock GM pressure sensor. I already had the pigtail with my harness, but BP Automotive, I bought that from them. They sell the pigtail, the sensor, and the fitting. So, but that's it. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go home, spend some time with the kids before they go to bed, and get back after it tomorrow. So I appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe. And I hope this video was fun to watch. I did a little more action shots, I guess. I don't know. I'm still in a hurry, and I apologize for not doing more than I probably should. Or I should be doing more, I guess I should say. But anyway, appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you soon.